What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Spicy Adventures up here in the San Lorenzo Valley, aka the Santa Cruz Mountains. Today I got a pretty special treat. A couple of weeks ago, maybe, I ran into a very distinguished gentleman here. Goes by the name of TJ, and he was driving this sweet little Alfa Romeo here, and decided to give him a call and said, hey, you know, let's go out for a little drive. There's a little Mini Cooper. Those things are fun. And yeah, and I wanted to just bring him aboard onto the channel and just kind of introduce him and his car, and you know what, give us a little bit of history lesson about his car and why he got it and all that other kind of stuff. So without further ado, TJ, welcome to the channel.
Thanks, man. Good to be here.
Yeah, good to see you again. Good to see you again. So why don't you start off by telling us what this exactly is?
It's a 1966 Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GT Veloce.
Nice.
So a lot of people call them GTVs. Alfa Romeo actually truncated the name in the later years, and they just called it a GTV, which stood for GT Veloce. But I call it a Giulia. That was the original model name, and yeah, that's what it is.
Cool. Now, is this the original color?
Yes.
Wow. Let's have him walk around this bad boy, and look at this gloss that's still on this thing.
Yeah, it's a driver, you know. So it's paint job is about 8 years old now. So I drive it, and you know, it's good paint. It's not great paint. It wasn't a show quality paint job, but that's the original color and the original color of the interior. So
yeah, this is absolutely exciting. You guys have no idea how small this thing is until you actually walk up to it, and it just looks tiny. But I love how these older cars were still so usable and small compared to my FL5. Like these newer cars have just become so overblown. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still fun as heck, but there's so much charm about little true compacts like this, and this is why, like, I've owned quite a few small cars in my day as well. Now tell me about some of the stuff that you've done to it to kind of customize it to make it like your own a little bit.
yeah, it has kind of the kind of classic GTA replica performance modifications. So Alfa Romeo built I believe about 500. This is Giulia Sprint GT Veloce. They made one called GTA, which was the A was for Alleggerito, which is Italian for lightened, and the GTA was an aluminum body riveted to the steel frame, if you will.
Wow.
And it had a bunch of modifications. It had a twin spark head. It had magnesium components like the bell housing and the oil pan. Different gearbox, I believe, and it was made for racing, and they were very, very successful with it. And instead of the original 15-inch steel wheels, the GTAs had this 14-inch aluminum wheel. So these wheels, which virtually everyone puts on Model 105,
right,
is a GTA replica wheel. So it has GTA replica wheels, and then it has a handling components package, which virtually every one of these cars you see on the road will have, which is a combination Alfa Holics and classic Alfa coil springs, Coney shocks, a larger diameter front sway bar, drop links for the front suspension, and as far as handling, and then it's got big brakes on it, a lot bigger than they had from the factory. In terms of handling, that's really all it has. The engine has been lightly modified. It was originally a 1600cc engine. When I rebuilt it, I put a kit from a guy named Paul Sproul out in Georgia, who has custom JE pistons made for a slightly larger overbore on the cylinder inserts.
Okay.
So the way an Alfa Romeo engine is built, the block is aluminum, and it has removable steel liners that are pressed into the block. So as long as the engine doesn't detonate, you don't throw a connecting rod through the side of the engine block, it's infinitely rebuildable, because you can buy a set of matched liners and pistons. He takes OE pistons, 1600 cc is the original displacement on this car. He bores them slightly and uses a custom JE piston that he has made. And so it's closer to 1700 cc's now. The increased displacement isn't as big of a performance gain as the modification he made to the pistons. And it's got Carrillo connecting rods, a lighter flywheel, and then I shed some weight. I put a little tiny lithium ion battery,
right into the back,
in the trunk,
in the
and
trunk.
it's got a tiny little starter and a tiny little generator on it. So I shed a little bit of weight, and so the engine is a lot revier, and it has a custom Crowler crank, which was based on kind of the GTA crank as well.
Cool.
Other than that, it's stock.
Yeah, I mean, I love hearing all those aftermarket names because those are some of the names that are still so popular today, right?
Carrillo and JE.
Right. Yeah, and to know that you can get something like this and still mod it to your liking using modern day names that some of you guys might even hear and know out there, which is just blows my mind. It's absolutely awesome, you know, because you wouldn't think that, right? Like, at least not from my end anyway, right? Because I'm so, you know, I've been part of this import world, and the European side I haven't had a lot of exposure to. So every time I see, especially older European cars, like, I'm always super fascinated because they have a ton of history, and just, you know, you can see just from the craftsmanship, they're super specially kind of, you know, made, and the lines are just, they're really well thought out. You know, like, it's not just something that they just kind of clump together, and you can really tell just by the way the bumpers are and the roof line, and, you know, and even this little, you know, a little over fender flare here, right, the way it comes like that. That's just,
This styling cue is one, they call this model a step nose, and that crease in the front. So this, you pointed to the Disegno di Bertone badge. So the body was designed by Bertone, who was, you know, designed a lot of very famous Italian cars.
Okay.
But the designer who designed it was a guy named Giulia, and he was 20 years old when he designed this.
Wow.
And what's important to remember from the way a lot of vehicles were made back in the day, or were designed, it was just one guy. It was one guy's vision.
Right.
Today everything's kind of, well, today everything is dictated by a computer, right?
True. Very true.
For a lot of very important reasons, right? You were talking about the difference between your car and this car.
Right.
Your car, any modern car, has all kinds of design constraints around safety and emissions and packaging and then Americans want heated, ventilated seats that adjust for different, right? So, and all that stuff adds weight and complexity, and the packaging becomes a real issue. This car is incredibly, it makes no real concessions to anything other than kind of performance. Yeah. And the Italians are famous for that.
Right.
And so it has some cool styling cues in it, but it's a very, very simple kind of package, to your point. Very analog, light, and when you drive it, which we will, I think you will very much kind of understand the way the Italians built things. Everything was a race car.
Right. Very cool. Well, I think you hit it right on the nose. Let's hop in this bad boy and let's experience an old school Italian machine. There she is. From the passenger side alone, the visuals, just looking out the windshield, the windows, is superb. Good brakes.
Yeah.
Floor mounted pedals?
Yeah.
Or are they hanging? Oh, they are floor mounted. That's freaking sweet. Race car.
favorite stretch of 9 right here.
Me too.
And this decreasing radius right-hander that comes up catches so many people out.
It does.
It's just...
This is the most fun little stretch. It's such a short stretch, but it's so good.
Yep.
Only real drivers know that this is the stretch, right?
Yep. So I always kind of go a little bit wide there, and then, you know, you start to turn,
right?
And then right here is when you go, oh, I really need to turn in.
Late apex. Yep. I love the way the suspension feels. It's very communicative. I can feel everything through my seat, and I'm the passenger.
Well, it's a live axle, right? So, you know, they didn't have IRS rear ends in these cars, and that's part of kind of the driving experience. And you definitely feel it. It feels weird the first time you drive one, you know?
Yeah, it seems like you've really built this thing well, TJ.
I hope so.
Yeah. It sounds really good. It's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I haven't driven a car with no power steering in forever. It feels so different nowadays to what I'm used to. The way that you kind of have to wrestle with the steering wheel is super fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of feedback, and it moves a lot, right?
You could feel the car sliding underneath you a little bit.
Analog experience.
Yeah. The way that the rear follows the front into the corner is trippy.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, especially when you lift off throttle like that, and then all of a sudden the nose turns in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this car definitely takes some getting used to.
Oh yeah.
To drive. It's not something that anybody can just jump in and drive. This is quite an experience, DJ. Oh, so fun right there. Now, what kind of power are you producing, do you think?
Maybe 130.
Okay, okay.
Maybe.
It's so weird, like the center of the steering wheel is all nice and loose when you're moving, but it tightens up. Loads up when you turn. That's so cool. And even with this window down, the wind noise isn't horrendous.
No.
Yeah.
Italian air conditioning.
Yeah. Yep, gotta go harder than that. There we go. I mean, look at this, folks. Look at this. This is so, talk about analog. Look at this. This is still just pristine. This is so good. Was this redone?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna say this is really nice.
Fortunately, they made enough of these, and the market for them is strong enough that there are a lot of reproduction parts available for restorers.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Like the headliner material.
That feels so great.
Yeah, it just has a very nice analog kind of response to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're not going terribly fast, but you know, we're probably, you know, 6 or 7 tenths.
Right.
We can push harder, and it'll stick. But you don't need to do that.
No.
And have fun. I'm going about 40, 50 miles an hour.
Right,
50,
right, yeah.
50.
Yeah, and that's what's so engaging about these older cars is the fact that they don't need to go fast to be engaging.
Right. And it's a good thing that they don't go that fast, because you know, if you crashed in this car, it would be hard on your body.
Yeah.
There's no airbags, a lot of hard surfaces to hit, you know.
Yeah.
That said, this car actually was involved in a pretty bad rear-end collision.
Oh.
Chayla was driving it, got rear-ended by a distracted driver.
Oh.
And it was remarkable that, you know, it also has no headrests, right?
Right, right. Yeah, whiplash.
And if I showed you the photos of it after the crash, you probably wouldn't believe that it's the same car we're still driving.
Oh, wow.
It was bad, and it really should have been totaled.
Yeah.
But they wanted to save it. These cars, early step noses like this, have become more desirable, and like anything, you know, there was a time when they were very, very inexpensive. I bought one of these, a Bear Runner, for about $700. We paid considerably more for this one when we bought it, but that was
right.
before it got fully restored. The chassis, the body is, you know, obviously a monocoque or unibody as they call it, and it's extremely rigid and lightweight.
Yes.
So this car probably weighs, as we're in it now, just maybe just a skosh over 2,000 pounds.
Wow.
And you know, so people say, oh, 120, 130 horsepower, that's not that much, and it's not that much. But when you're only have 2,000 pounds to move, it's the horsepower to weight ratio is more impressive.
All right. Yeah, and that's something that I've heard a lot of car enthusiasts online say, which I think is true, is with these newer cars being so big, they need more power to feel this way.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately kind of sad, right?
Yeah, all the stuff that the modern market calls for, air conditioning and you know, the creature comforts inside, and the seats that are adjustable, and all those things, and then, you know, the concession to crumple zones and safety and rollover, all that stuff adds weight. And it's very hard to find, you know, your car and maybe a few others are only a handful of cars that you can get that are relatively light for a modern car.
Right.
Do you know how much your car weighs?
Yeah, it's about 3,200 pounds.
I was gonna say, that's great.
Yeah, for a new car in this day and age, right?
Yeah.
Where everything else is hovering around 4,000 pounds.
Yeah.
How did you keep this car in such good shape, even with like, there's no creaks or rattles in like the interior that are like super noticeable? Like, how did you do that?
You know, I didn't go to any real extraordinary lengths. This car, when I bought this car, you know, we had the other ones already, and this car was, when I bought it, was just a driver. It was a fine car mechanically. It was, you know, it had a lot of patina on it. And when it was in the accident, it was right in the middle of the build of the 1900.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really the last thing in the world that I wanted, was to be restoring two cars at once. But I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to total it. So I was kind of doing two at once, which was challenging enough. And this build took 5 years. It took a lot longer than it should have.
Wow.
And so I really was kind of in a hurry to get it done. And so to answer your question, I didn't really go to a whole lot of... I didn't spend a whole lot of time worrying about getting everything to fit inside as well as I might have. It does have Dynamat in it, which certainly helps.
Oh, okay.
But you know, vintage old cars, door seals, like, you know, the doors are a little wonky the way they close.
Mm-hmm.
They just rattle more than new cars.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I consider this car really quiet for being this day and age of a car.
Yeah.
I've been in much newer cars where they rattle way more than, and this is like, it's really, it feels super refined in here. Right.
Probably have as many hours on it on two wheels as I do four, but I'm fortunate to live where I live, and I can get up on a Saturday or a Sunday morning early enough to be out and just go out for a drive. Shayla and I will do it. We'll get breakfast at the end of it or something.
Right.
It's again, it's a road that you don't need to be going blindingly fast to enjoy.
You don't.
So I'm grateful, because this car was made for roads like this.
Yeah.
You know, people compare and contrast an Italian car with an American car, and the cars and the vehicles that come out of a country are largely reflective of the geography of that country, right? So Italy's a small country with a lot of tight, twisty little roads.
Right.
And gas is expensive, so they built small displacement engines that were heavy. America, you know, shoot, how long does it take to drive across Texas? 8 hours just to get across one state.
Right.
And so you've got big, lopey Harley Davidsons that cruise along at 65 miles an hour with the engine turning nice, and the same with a big Chevy.
Yeah.
You know, and so the roads that, you know, you drive are informed by the cars that are made for them.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, TJ.
fell off.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo. I love all the badging. Like, you could see how proud this company was of just making a car.
Yeah.
Right, and the badging, like I said, the chrome accents, the wheels. Yeah, I love the door handles, how they're kind of recessed a little bit, and then the keyholes in the middle. Like, everybody puts a keyhole to the right.
Yeah.
But this keyhole's in the middle. Like, that has so much character. Like, people don't realize just these little cues and these little touches. You know, these mirrors are just to die for. They're just small circular mirrors.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And then the wipers, right? They go like this. You know, like.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not traditional like everybody else's wipers like this, and it's just those little touches is what.
The script on the deck lid and the Veloce script on the tail on the rear.
Oh, here, yeah, the Giulia Sprint GT,
stylized.
Yeah, and the Veloce. I mean, this looks like this could be put on a modern car easily. Yeah. Just the design of it, right? It literally looks like somebody hand wrote it, like just like that, and put it on there. So that's super cool.
And you'll notice there's no button to open it, so the way you open the deck lid is there's a latch in the.
Yeah, on the passenger side, on both sides, or just passenger side?
Just on the passenger side.
Yeah, that's plenty of room, too. That's not too bad. I know. That's not too bad.
Bumpers are stainless steel, not chromed.
Yeah. Yeah, such a well thought out, I think, vehicle for its time, and still very serviceable today, and such a cool car to look at when you're on the road. You know, you won't see something like this every single day, that's for sure. You know, TJ invited me up to his house today to, you know, look at some of his fleet, and oh man, I can't tell you guys, this is just one of some of his, you know, beautiful cars that he's got there and stuff. And yeah, you know, I'm a big Italian guy too. Like, I love Italian stuff. Like, you know, I had an Aprilia RS 660, right? You know, and you know, I root for a lot of Italian racers and you know, things of that nature. So you know, this is kind of like, and I love like Italian food, you know, and yeah, so this is
know
like,
how to live.
Yeah, they do. So this has been like a real good treat for me to kind of step back in time to, you know, to a time where well, we don't have anymore, and to experience something that I've always at least wanted to experience, you know, a timeless and early days Italian heritage vehicle that, you know, that sadly aren't made anymore today. So yeah, but good to see that this car is still running strong, looks great, and yeah. And TJ, I hope that you continue your builds and keep coming up with some new rides for me to see. That'll be sweet.
Yeah, we'll get the Giulietta back on the road, and maybe we can do something with the 1900 when I get that.
That would be
used to driving on the road.
That would blow some people away, I think, you know, to see that car pull up. Yeah, especially with that colorway. I'm not even gonna tell people what colorway it is. You know, they gotta see it when, you know, whenever you do bring it out. So.
Azzurro Verde Ocean.
Okay, there it is.
Which won't mean it much to many people.
Right.
Yeah. That's what it was called. That's the original color of that car.
Right. Yeah.
It's a very, and that the interior is the same. That's exactly the way the car looked when it left touring in 1957. Wow. That exterior color with that interior color.
That's amazing.
Which only the Italians would put those
color combo. Yeah, you just don't do it like
only
that.
Only the Italians.
Unless you got the style for it, you know, and the pizzazz, you know.
In Amadeus, when he's like, the Italians, always with the Italians.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for joining this really cool episode of Spicy Adventures, and you know, just another great day up in the San Lorenzo Valley up here. You know, again, just like what TJ was saying, you know, this road, we don't need to be going 150 miles an hour on it. You know, it's great just to cruise around and have a good old time, you know, and yeah, and see some really cool cars, and we'll be seeing a lot more cool ones as the weeks and years go by, you know. TJ's been up here a long time. I've only been here for a year and a half, but fully enjoying it, and, you know, meeting really cool people like this, and sharing experiences is what it's all about, you guys. So be safe out there, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.